Hello, vinyl community. Edward here, aka Prog Rock Tommy. I'm not here for a vinyl update. What's making me do this video is I've been inspired by Chris at Dixieland Farm, who did a series of videos, and I hope he will continue to do more. But he calls them like the common artists or the common stuff. He did ones of Elton John and Billy Joe, and I recommend, if you haven't seen those, check those out. Those are really good. I really enjoyed them. And so it inspired me to do one on a band that I loved and a big fan of, and that's the band Dire Straits. Now, I don't have everything that Dire Straits has done on vinyl or on CD. I mean, I have one CD, and that's their 1991 album, On Every Street. But I wanted to do one Commons, but on a band that I really enjoy listening to, and that's Dire Straits. This rock band formed in London in 1977, and how I found out about Dire Straits was the radio. I heard the song Sultans of Swing, and when I first heard it, I thought it was George Harrison because of the guitar playing, and don't remember the voice much, but I really thought it was a George Harrison song for a while. But the more and more I kept hearing it on FM radio, one day the DJ said that's the band Dire Straits, Sultans of Swing. Now, I didn't have the album. I had the song recorded on a cassette. I don't remember when I started actually buying their albums, but it was most likely in the 80s when I was still attending junior high school. That's how I found out about them. They're a band with many musical influence. They do jazz, folk, rock, blues, progressive. Probably a band that led me into those other different, explore those types of genres. I mean, for instance, progressive rock. That's a huge genre of a lot of bands that over the last few years I've started to come into touch with. We're all familiar, I'm sure, with their big 1985 selling album, Brothers in Arms. Had quite a few hits in the top 40, at least 4 or 5 singles were released from the album, but I'm not for sure. Bob Dylan was really impressed by the band. He invited Mark Knopfler and the drummer Pick Withers to play on his album, Slow Train, which is really a good Bob Dylan album. I really highly recommend, you checking that out. It's a really good album. So let me begin with the records of Dire Straits that I have in my vinyl collection. They're on Warner Brothers Records label, and I'm sure we've seen that label before. But so I won't take them out and show each one. I'll just show the covers. Dire Straits, 1978, their debut album, self-titled. I've always liked the cover art. The songs that come to mind that are some really good ones is, of course, Sultans of Swing, In the Gallery, Down to the Waterline. But really good debut album. In 1979 came this album, and I'll take a shot at it. Communique. I don't know, I'm wrong. But it's an album that I really like too. I like the artwork, the postcard. Once Upon a Time in the West and Lady Rider are the songs that are my favorite on this record. And yes, I did just pay $2. Don't want to take this off because usually it tears the cover or leaves that sticky residue. So that's the actual price I pay for it. This other one is like one of really good album right here too. Making Movies, released in 1980, has the song Romeo and Juliet, which my daughter told me here about a few years ago in high school, in one of her classes, I think it was English, they were listening to the song Romeo and Juliet, and had to do a paper or something about the lyrics and whatever that assignment she was assigned to do. So I thought that was really cool that her teacher played the song for the class. 1982, they released an album called Love Over Gold, which is a really good album. This one has the progressive, to me, track Telegraph Road. Really good song. I picked this up next for nothing, but what I thought was really cool is that it's on that Starship Red and Black Vertical label. I didn't know that. I hope you can see that. But when I got it home and I pulled out the album, I almost thought that I had the wrong album. But no, it is Love Over Gold. So that was really a killer score right there. So around 84, yeah, in 1984, they released their double live album, which is really good. It's in my top 15 for best live albums by a band. And they made a movie on it. I used to have it on VH tape and watched it quite a bit till I wore it out. And around 83, Mark Knopfler did music for Local Hero. And I picked this up for about $1, next to nothing. It is really a good soundtrack. It has the vocals of Jerry Rafferty on it, who sings his big hits, Baker Street and right down the line. But this is a really good soundtrack. Now, I do have some other, I just remembered, I do have some other Mark Knopfler soundtracks on CDs. And there's somewhere, like I said, I didn't pull out everything. And the big album of 1985. Should be all familiar with this one, as much as MTV played the song Money for Nothing over and over. Good video. Brothers in Arms. Had quite a few singles released on it that were in the top 40. But there's some other really good songs on here too. Not that I'm saying those are bad songs. Those are great songs, but the songs that I like to hear too are Right Across the River, Why Worry, and Your Latest Trick. Those are some good tracks. This whole album is really good. And I'm going to say it, maybe this is not the right thing to say, but if you want to hear some Dire Straits, I'd start here. Why not? There's a lot of good songs on here. Another good album cover. Good artwork. Well, everyone, again, I want to give a shout out to Chris. He inspired me to do this video on Dire Straits. And I might do some other ones on some other common stuff that you don't really see too much posted in the vinyl community. But again, thanks to everyone. Really enjoy all the videos that I'm seeing out there. There's a lot of people that I don't know, but I appreciate everyone's comments. I appreciate everyone who takes time to watch my videos, and everyone in the vinyl community. Prog Rock Tommy, Edward here. We'll see you soon, and everyone have a great weekend.